Hello viewers, how are you? Welcome to my channel Physics with Rans. So today we are going to discuss about Stokes theorem and terminal velocity. So before going to start this topic, those who are new to my channel, please subscribe my channel so that you can receive notifications regarding my channel, as well as you can watch my previous videos to clear your concepts, and you can solve as many numericals as you can so that you can achieve your JEE Mains or NEET. So before going to start this topic, the understanding of physics is very easy. By analyzing, you can understand the physics in a easy manner. Let's start this topic. Stokes theorem. Here, as we had seen our previous video, we had discussed about the viscous force acting between solid and liquid. When the solid body is floating on the surface, if a body is floating on the surface here, then the viscous force acting between this solid body as well as a liquid body has been discussed in our previous video, and we had represented based on this viscous force, and it is represented as a eta A into dV by dH. Based on the height, we had represented the condition. Whereas in this video, we are going to discuss the viscous force acting on a body when the body is present within the fluid. When the body is within the fluid, here we are going to represent the viscous force acting on this body. For this, the viscous force is represented as F suffix V, and we have to represent some conditions. When the body is within the fluid, we just consider the size and shape of the body. Shape of a body. And next, we consider the speed of body and coefficient of viscosity of the body. Coefficient of viscosity of the body. So here, based on the fluid, how much of coefficient of viscosity is acting on the body is being represented based on this theorem. So here, in order to represent, observe that when we consider a body, we have to consider size as well as the shape of the body. So Stokes, what he had done is he had considered a sphere so that it is easy for everyone to understand as well as to represent the expression. So he had considered a sphere. Let us consider a sphere within the fluid. When a sphere is present within the fluid, the Stokes had considered the radius of the sphere. Radius of the sphere, as well as the speed of a sphere. Speed of the sphere, as well as coefficient of viscosity acting on the sphere by the fluid. And he had given that the force acting on this body, sphere body, is directly proportional to radius of the sphere, velocity of the sphere, and coefficient of viscosity. Now we have to show the relation between this force as well as these quantities. For that, what we do is we just consider r to the power of a, v to the power of b, and eta to the power of c. And we are going to show this relation by using dimensional analysis method. For this, we have to consider the dimensions of every quantity separately. We know that the dimension for force is ml t to the power of minus 2, and radius is L, and velocity is L t to the power of minus 1, and coefficient of viscosity is M L to the power of minus 1 t to the power of minus 1. Now, remember, this coefficient of viscosity is very important. Now, based on this, we are going to find the relation between force as well as these three quantities. Observe that when we substitute the dimensions, ml to the power of minus 2 is equals to r to the power of a, nothing but l to the power of a, and in the place of proportionality we will add a constant k, l to the power of a, and l t to the power of minus 1 whole to the power of b, and m l to the power of minus 1 t to the power of minus 1 whole to the power of c. Now when we write the dimensions separately, observe that m to the power of c and l to the power of a plus b minus c, a plus b minus c, and here the dimensions for time is t to the power of minus b minus c. Now when we equate on both sides, the expression can be represented as, when we are going to equate the powers of mass, so that c is equal to 1, and when we equate the length on both sides, it can be represented as a plus b minus c is equal to 1, and when we equate the time dimensions of time, observe that minus b minus c is equal to minus 2. So here observe that we got a value of 1. As we substitute this, minus b minus 1 is equal to minus 2, then minus b equal to minus 2 plus 1, nothing but minus 1. So here b is equal to 1. Based on the value of c and b, now we are going to find the value of c. A, observe that a plus b, value of b is 1 minus 1 is equal to 1, and here we get a is equal to 1. Now we got the value of a as 1, c as 1, and b as 1. As a substitute, the force expression can be given as f equals to k into r to the power of 1, v to the power of 1, and neta to the power of 1. So here this is the expression given by Stokes based on radius of the sphere, speed of the sphere, and coefficient of viscosity acting on the sphere. Now we have to represent the value of k. Stokes had calculated and he had represented the value of k as 6 pi. Based on the force is represented as f equals to 6 pi r v neta. This represents the force, viscous force acting on a body when the body is within the fluid. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Now we are going to derive the expression for terminal velocity. So here when a body is passing through the fluid, initially when we consider the body on the surface of the fluid like this, then the body experiences the weight in the downward direction and it is represented as a W. As the body enters the fluid, the viscous force acts on the body in the upward direction. Means the body will be slowed down due to the fluid, as well as the upthrust will be acting on the body, so that the fluid pushes the body in the upward direction. So when the weight of the body is greater than these two forces, the body will be accelerated in the downward direction and the net force will not be equal to 0. Then we can represent that weight is greater than upthrust plus viscous force. Here when the body attains the midpoint or some distance within the fluid, then here the weight is represented as W and viscous force as F suffix V, and upthrust as u. Since the body has traveled within the fluid, here the net force will be equal to 0, means the weight is being balanced by these two forces. In this condition, here the body travels with a constant velocity, whereas acceleration, net acceleration is equal to 0. Whereas in this case, here the net force is not equal to 0, as well as net acceleration is also not equal to 0. Net acceleration is not also equal to 0. So based on this condition, when it had attained a equilibrium position, we can represent the expression based on these equations. Observe that weight is equal to upthrust plus viscous force. Here weight is given of this body. If we consider the density of the body is sigma, and the density of the fluid as rho. Density of the fluid is rho, and we know that mass is equal to density into volume. Density into volume. So in the place of weight, we can represent the density of the body is sigma into volume as well as gravity. So this represents the weight of this body. It is equal to upthrust. Upthrust is nothing but the force acting on the body due to fluid, and it is represented as rho v g plus viscous force, and already we had derived it as 6 pi neta r v suffix t, where v suffix t is nothing but velocity of the body. Already we had represented this. So here when we send this towards this side, then the expression can be represented as 6 pi neta r v suffix t is equal to sigma vg minus rho vg. Here observe that we can take vg as common, then the expression can be represented as 6 pi neta r v suffix t equals vg into sigma minus rho. Whereas here we had considered a sphere. Volume of the sphere can be represented as 4 by 3 pi r cube. Then 6 pi neta r into v suffix t equals to 4 by 3 pi r cube into g sigma minus rho. Observe that 2 2s are 2 3s are, and here 1 pi gets cancelled as well as 1 r gets cancelled. Then as we bring these remaining quantities except terminal velocity, the remaining terminal velocity is given as 2 into r square g into sigma minus rho by 9 neta. This represents the expression for terminal velocity when a body is passing through the fluid and attains a equilibrium position, means the body is passing with a constant velocity. So this can be applicable for any body. Take a screenshot, we'll continue. Let's solve some numericals based on this terminal velocity as well as Stokes theorem. Observe that a small sphere falls from rest in a viscous liquid. Due to the friction, heat is produced. Find the relation between rate of production of heat and the radius of the sphere at terminal velocity. So here when a small sphere falls into a viscous liquid. Here, since the sphere is falling, this sphere experiences the production of heat, means that the body will be heated. Now we have to represent the rate of production of heat. Here rate of production of heat is represented as dq by dt, whereas we know that heat is nothing but work done, so it can be represented as rate of work done, nothing but power. Whereas this power can be represented nothing but dq by dt is equals to force into ds by dt, nothing but terminal velocity. Terminal velocity, force into terminal velocity. Already we had represented the viscous force. The viscous force is represented as 6 pi neta r v suffix t into v suffix t, terminal velocity. Then as you substitute the value of terminal velocity, the expression can be represented as 6 pi neta r into 2 r square g sigma minus rho by 9 neta whole square. Here observe that square this expression. So that 6 pi neta r into 2 square is 4 r to the power of 4 g sigma minus rho whole square by 9 square is 81 neta square. So here when we cancel 3 2s are 27 3s are, and observe that 1 neta gets cancelled and remaining terms are represented as dq by dt is equals to 2 into 4 is 8 pi r to the power of 5 g square into sigma minus rho whole square by 27 neta. This represents rate of production of heat. Take a screenshot. We'll continue. Observe the next problem. Two identical spherical drops of water are falling through air with a steady velocity of 20 cm per second. If the drops combine to form a single drop, what would be the terminal velocity of the single drop? Here we have to represent the terminal velocity of the single drop, whereas here the initial terminal velocity of the two drops is represented as 20 cm per second. And here when we consider the terminal velocity equation, v suffix t equals to 2r square g into sigma minus rho by 9 neta. Observe that here terminal velocity is directly proportional to r square. Now we have to show the relation between this single drop as well as these two drops. Whereas these two drops has been combined to form a single drop. If we consider radius of the single drop is capital R and radius of individual drops are small r, then 2 into volume of the single drops, 4 by 3 pi r cube is equal to volume of the bigger drop, 4 by 3 pi r cube. Observe that 4 by 3 pi gets cancelled on both sides. Next 2r cube is equal to r cube. Then from this side capital R equals to 2 to the power of 1 by 3 r. This shows the relation between radius of the smaller drop as well as the radius of the bigger drop, which is formed due to the combination of two smaller drops. So now here as you observe that the terminal velocity is directly proportional to radius square. So v suffix t dash by v suffix t is equals to r square by r square. Observe that r is equals to capital R equals to 2 to the power of 1 by 3 into r. Then v suffix t dash equals to v suffix t is 20 centimeter per second into capital R is 2 to the power of 1 by 3 whole square into r square by r square. Observe that r square gets cancelled, and here 20 into 2 square is 4 to the power of 1 by 3. Cube root of 4 can be represented as approximately 1.6 into 20. So here we get a 32. So the terminal velocity of the bigger drop in the air is 32 centimeter per second. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Observe the next problem. The terminal velocity of a copper ball of radius 2 millimeter falling through a tank of oil is 6.5 centimeter per second. Compute the viscosity of the oil if density of the oil is 1.5 into 10 to the power of 3 kg per meter cube and the density of copper is 8.9 into 10 to the power of 3 kg per meter cube. And we know the expression for terminal velocity v suffix t is equals to 2r square g into sigma minus rho by 9 neta. Here when we substitute all these values in this expression, we can represent the coefficient of viscosity. Observe that the terminal velocity is 6.5 centimeter per second. In terms of meter, it can be represented as 6.5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter per second, and radius is 2 millimeter. So it can be represented as 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter. And observe that the value of g is considered as 10 meter per second square, as well as density of the copper is 8.9 into 10 to the power of 3 kg per meter cube, as well as density of the liquid is 1.5 into 10 to the power of 3 kg per meter cube. So we have all the values. Now we have to find coefficient of viscosity. From this coefficient of viscosity, neta equals to 2r square g into sigma minus rho by 9 v suffix t. So observe that 2 into the value of radius is 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square into 10 into density of copper is 8.9 into 10 to the power of 3 minus 1.5 into 10 to the power of 3 by 9 into 6.5 into 10 to the power of minus 2. So here 2 into 2 square is 4. So 8 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into 10 into, after that when we can take 10 to the power of 3 as common. When we take 10 to the power of 3 as common, 8.9 minus 1.5, nothing but 6.4, sorry, 7.4 into 10 to the power of 3 by 9 into 6.5 into 10 to the power of minus 2. So when we consider all the powers, when we bring this 10 to the power of minus 2 to numerator, minus 2 plus 3 is plus 5, plus 5 plus 1 plus 6, plus 6 minus 6. So all the powers gets cancelled. The remaining quantities are 8 into 7.4 by 9 into 6.5, or we can represent it as 8 into 74 by 9 into 65. Answer that 4 8s are 32, 7 8s are 56, 56 plus 3 59, and 9 5s are 45, 9 6 are 54, 54 plus 4 58. So when we simplify this, here we get approximately a value of 1. Based on that, we can represent that the coefficient of viscosity is 1 Newton second per meter square. Take a screenshot. Please give a like to this video, share this video to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel.